hello, everybody. Hello, 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 hello. Oh my gosh, I think I almost gave away what I was so excited about to show everyone today. I found out that in YouTube Studio, I was wondering, I was like, man, I've never been able to blink. Is that like a rigging thing that we never did, or is that just like, or is that like my webcam? And then I realized that I always had the blinking link would always be on. And I just never turned it off for like my almost 2 years of streaming, so now I can wink. I can hardly wink on cue, but I can wink now. I know. I think that's a huge step up and improvement. We'll see. It looks a little buggy, so who knows? Maybe I'll turn it off. But for today, I can wink. Whoa. Craziness. Anyway, we are playing more of the devil today. Last time, we got to meet, oh my god, my brain. We got to meet was he the wolf? The wolf guy? Not me not remembering. Okay, yes, okay, we got to we're now investigating the place where Morgan killed all those people. Give me all of this right now, please. Yeah. Oh yeah, we met Adelaide. Okay, yeah. Dude, where am I? Okay, yes, Sosuke is our client. Was it the Hound of something? Shit. Sosuke! Yeah, he's the guy that was tied up in the beginning. We're trying to give him a innocent verdict. Hehe. Also, hello, Jamie. Yeah. You probably have noticed, but I decided to put up the overlay again just because I missed it. I'm probably gonna change it, like, probably gonna like tweak it a little bit, but for right now, it's like this. I missed it. I was like, man, I feel so naked. I feel so normie and naked, and I don't like it. So I brought it back. But either way. Yes, we met Dima, not Dima. We met Han. We're with London, and we're investigating the alleyway? Question mark. Whoa. See my eyes? Whoa. I talked about this at the beginning of the stream, but I turned off linking my eye blinks so I could finally wink, but maybe it just makes it look like I'm der. Okay. Man, so many things to explore. Let's start off with a reading. Isn't that fun, guys?
One problem with blue bloods and cops running security. I don't know who to blame for leaving their shit here. I'll give the moral high ground to whichever part of society learns to pick up after themselves first.
Bombing ruled out in university fire. Okay. Panic abounded last week on campus when the computer labs at Technica University were set ablaze in the early hours of the morning. Students and faculty skirted the campus in anxious hunched postures as federal agents descended on the lab's vicinity, searching for signs that could point to a culprit. But as of today, the fire has officially been ruled an accident and successfully traced back to a cooling system failure in the basement's main server hub, a freak accident that has provided simultaneous relief and confusion to the community. When the fire was first reported on, they were quick to point out that its similarities to other fires and bombings recently, reported as sweeping eastward across the nation, dubbed by some members of the press as work of the Witch of the West. What? Wicked? So you get a buzz. Each incident appears to have targeted data infrastructure, hitting state, corporate, and academic nerve centers and leaving behind significant financial grief in the aftermath. Hundreds of thousands of files related to student debt, all of it non-recoverable. Oh! Oh no! This is horrible! Oh no! That's awful! Oh no, not the student debt! Oh, anything but that! Anything but the student debt! I can't believe they got that! Oh man! Oh man! Said one anonymous campus security specialist after the university student registry records went up in literal smoke. We are reaching out to alumni as quickly as we can to try and piece their records back together, but frankly, a lot of them have been less eager to speak with us. I could only imagine. We have no choice but to re-examine payment plans for our current students' tuition. Oh God. Does that mean they have to pay more? Federal investigative officials have no formal comments at this time, but some local law enforcement officers have been described seeing federal agents frustrated with the so-called witch. Criticism of the response has begun to surface from the political realm, with Senator Colt now formally calling for the Director of Investigations to testify as to the progress or lack thereof in the search for this serial arsonist. Another notable, hey! Still sent up exclusively to a compliment ID 09, like you!
I feel like I've heard stories about bombings out west the last few months, but I didn't know they'd all been attributed to one person, or that they're now calling them the Witch of the West. There's no mention of victims, only data centers being targeted. But clearly the switch is hitting someone where it hurts, if they've now gone.
Schools involved!
Schools getting caught in the crossfire is an odd wrinkle. It stands to reason university campuses have powerful supercomputers, but the article clarified that this wasn't a bombing, just an accident that happened to resemble the witch's MO. Whatever. I was only skimming it after all. What really stands out here is that the federal investigators are getting involved.
Oh, just kidding, it actually was the feds, my bad.
Most national security agencies were absorbed into the military police complex decades ago. That bureau survived, but it's a mere fraction of the size it used to be, and very different.
Damn, Art, you're looking so vague. Threatening compliment 32. I love the threatening compliment. Dude, speaking of compliments today, I was getting a coffee. And my Earth job is a barista, but I was at a different coffee place. And the barista literally like came up to me and she was like, "Oh my God, your skin is gorgeous." I was like, "My skin?" I was like, "Oh, thank you, my skin." She was like, "Yeah, have you ever seen somebody so gorgeous that you just couldn't stop yourself from saying something?" I was like, "Oh, thank you." And she was like, "Okay, bye." I was like, "You can't just tell somebody that and then leave." Anyway, she didn't let me tip her, which I was mad about that. I was very mad about that. I don't think it was flirting. She looked straight. She looked hella straight, but I don't know. There could be people in the wild. But she just left. She did, like, usually, like, they would, like, turn around their screen and, like, give you, you know, a tipping option, but she just left. I was gonna tip her. Either way, it flabbergasted me. It flabbergasted me, because I don't think of that myself at all. But, but she led with your skin. I was like, my skin! Anyway.
Their modern reputation is that of attack dogs, deployed by the Senate to make examples of political targets. I can't say I like the idea of them being out there hunting for serial offenders.
Okay. I thought that said lobotomy, but no, it's just Lobo King. Check. Your skin handed, like, even I gotta say, my skin is not the best, man. I still deal with hormonal acne, so I don't know what the fuck she was talking about.
This fire escape will lead right up to the crime scene. Assuming it doesn't come crashing down once you step onto it.
It's missing the ladder that would connect it to street level. You're violating fire code with this tetanus trap, hon.
Building inspection's not my department. Besides, who'd want to climb up into a burning building?
Firefighters.
You're funny, Bridges. Even a copper firefighter couldn't risk getting signed to save a lower ward's property from burning down. Copper is probably cop. Yeah. Clanker? Wait, they have. Oh my god, is Clanker a slur in this universe? Are you. That's funny. Microchip breath? That's cray cray.
An ad could probably make the jump up there. Ads are heavy. If an android leaped onto that, the whole mess would probably come down on top of them.
Fire escape! Oh boy, okay.
Yeah, modders are heavy too.
Hey.
Looks like the only way to get into the building is through the front door then.
Don't go calling Sarah the C word. I would never. That is my sweet summer child.
It was much darker last night than it is now, and I only took a quick peek. But even so, this...
Looks like it's been moved, huh?
Yes. Was trash picked up last night, perhaps?
Checking the model number on the side. Looks like the dumpsters of this make haven't been picked up by the city in a decade. Whoa!
I didn't realize there was DRM on trash cans.
Hey, it's a heavy model. Tough to lift, even if its wheels weren't broken. And designed for containing industrial waste. How it ended up here in a residential district is...
Isn't that hard to puzzle out, is it? It was cheaper for the Megs to dump their shit on us than it was to haul it to a landfill.
Is that why I can see markings on the ground there? From leaks?
Aw, you really are a tourist, aren't you?
I've been in the lower wards before.
But only at night, right?
Rain's dirty down here. Stains the ground wherever it falls. Acid rain? Like from the history books?
Not quite that bad, just smog combined with precipitation combined with the charms of the city to make.
Dirty rain, like I said. Lower wards, spring water. There's a shot named after it. Tequila and pickle juice. Ew, gross!
So, so is the dumpster empty?
Let's see.
Hey, grab a glove if you're gonna...
Yeah, it's mostly empty except for a bunch of scrap metal at the bottom. Explains why I can't get to it. Oh, whoa. Explains why I can't get it to budge.
Careful. If you get your toe tapped into... Guys, I think today I can't read. As like most days, but really today is just up there. If you get your toe trapped under there, don't look at me to help you just 'cause I'm modded.
Are you saying you couldn't budge it either?
I could if a girl was cheering me on.
Okay, London, thanks. Don't know what I was expecting to find, really.
Now just watch it so you don't... Oh! Ooh! Damn! Ow! Is that her mod? Ooh, the lid makes a very unpleasant sound. Let the lid slam.
Sorry.
Alright, I'm done back here. So I think I've seen everything That's right. I was standing here last night when...
Oh yeah! I remember.
It was dark and foggy. The kid was too far off to make out my face. Weren't they?
What is it, Tagger?
Nothing.
Thought I saw someone out the corner of my eye, that's all. Yeah, around here maybe you wasn't unlisted.
What are you... Those are real?
Keep to themselves, obviously, but yeah, they're real. I've met some. They inform, sometimes on what they've seen. Never coming in to testify, of course. You'd think they'd stand out dressing like that, but if their camouflage didn't work, they wouldn't be unlisted, right?
What do you mean they keep to themselves?
Don't they work with any of the gangs down here? Sorry, have I gotten your hopes up or something? Trust me, you got better a chance of winning the lottery than running into one. Right. Forgot I asked.
What are these? What are those? Term for individuals who are not actively registered in any state database. What? Okay. Following shifts in immigration patterns and the implementation of the Military Service Citizenship Report, the Minutemen Bill on documented immigration has sharply... Oh, I see. Okay. Interesting. Oh, man. Malnourishment, illiteracy, extreme poverty, and rampant mental illnesses within enlisted populations has times spurred outreach programs that attempt to contact them, but at their very nature as enlisted, actual data of their quality of life or cultural practices is virtually non-existent. Man! That's rough. Died in a dumpster accident. Yeah, almost. Also, I was saying woe to Han's mods. It looked like they were like shoved in her arm. That looked really hella painful. Really hella painful. Really super hella painful.
Ready to go inside? I think so. So long as.
No, I'm not with anyone else. It's just me here.
Because she's shrill, princess.
Oh no, she's a princess. She's a hey mamas.
And delusional, you know that. I'm sure she'll catch up. So you were saying this used to be an apartment building? Somewhere between that and a long-stay motel, yeah. Blue Bloods didn't deviate far from that model when they took over. They call rooms like these vaults. Places to stash away a lover, witness, debtor, when there's too much heat. You've gone through all of these vaults, I take it? Scientists helped us with that last night, yeah. Bringing around master keys, clearing out every possible hiding place. Didn't find a red-handed killer hiding anywhere, did you? Sorry, no.
So, is this the Blue Bloods' forte then? Securing people, places, and things? I'd fall for a lesbian fuckboy. I don't know if I found out they were fucking around, I'd die. But I would fall for one, yeah.
You could think of it that way. Guess I always assumed gangs made their money through drugs.
Honestly, I would have such an embarrassing crush on Morgan. It would be like, it would be bad. I've noticed that it's just like, it doesn't even have to do with girls in general. Like, just my type is like, if you are nonchalant and serious and yet playful, like I'd be like, I want you. It does not, like, literally across any gender. That's just who I like. And also, you know, if you kill people, it's a +2.
Well, the Blue Bloods do deal here and there. Narcotics has been a rich man's game ever since the CDCA rolled in.
CDCA? CDs? Alright. Contraband Decriminalization Acts. Okay. Oh boy.
If you have the funds to ride the gray wave the way House Acadia does, you can make him kill it.
Wait, hold on, go back. They were talking about the gray wave. Hold on. Where is it? There it is. The gray wave followed soon after as money-starved criminal organizations waged economic and literal war against multinational corporations for dominance of this new gray market. Okay. Fierce competition for government licenses to produce classic narcotics. Classic narcotics. Emerged alongside a race to develop new, more powerful designer drugs and to monopolize on their sale in the government and legalize them. Okay, great.
They've got the market cornered from black to gray to white to pure green profit. The Blue Bloods hate that they have to make do with all the scraps the Megs in the house don't bother producing en masse. Professional jealousy. How ugly.
Why can't these underworld overlords just bury the hatchet, get together, and screw over the consumer, like reasonable people do? They've tried, if you believe the rumors. About a year ago now, there was some kind of meeting, an olive branch from the golds to the blues. Apparently, the Blue Bloods had a product that the Acadia wanted to distribute. The Acadia sell legal drugs now, though. And what kind of products do the Blue Bloods have that the Acadia couldn't manufacture? Not sure. Maybe that's why I went south so fast. Blue blood was
I said blue blood. You were just saying it so much.
Blood was spilled in less than an hour. The Acadia aren't the type to keep negotiating after being spat on like that.
And so the Blue Bloods remain firmly planted in the lower ward's niche.
They might not like having to take the low end, but they are filling a gap in the market. And that's every proper capitalist calling, right? Besides, the workers certainly appreciate the protection down here.
Workers hire Blue Bloods for protection. But all that stuff is legal. As long as they're licensed, isn't it?
Legal? Yes. Respectable? Most would still say no. So household name security Megs consider it too high risk to be seen in the company of workers.
Oh, okay. Worker information only. Okay, so they're sex workers. Operating in high-end establishments, generally and specifically zoned in okay. Cloud districts. Catering to only specific clientele may be commonly referred to as courtesans. Okay. Used to refer to individuals who are legally licensed. Okay. Slay.
Doesn't help that their average board member is easily pushing 60 years old.
You aren't that far from pushing 60 years.
Oh,
60 yourself, are you?
matter of opinion. Besides, I'm a very modern, forward-thinking man.
Did you finish those 50 rosaries already? Right. And the Acadia, they don't, compete in that market?
Morgan, it's okay to talk about sex, Morgan.
No. People at the Acadia's Heights may patronize a courtesan or two in the Cloud Districts, but they'd never lower themselves to work alongside one. Hypocrites.
That much I understand perfectly. The hypocrisy is the appeal for them. The rules don't apply to me. You couldn't ask for a more pure expression of power.
For real.
Damn. Worse than I remember. Like a demon tore through the place.
I know, isn't it cool?
Seriously. What the hell happened here?
That's what we all get paid to find out, right?
Yeah.
I've definitely got a head start on the rest of you, though. Shall we bring up the arcs?
Sure, I'll patch you in.
Allow me. If you're needed on the phone, Miss Han, please don't let me keep you here.
Happy Morgan Monday! Nonsense. I've got all the time in the world for you.
Everyone's treating me like royalty today.
Oh boy, the orcs. Meh. Okay. Morgan, you look great.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Where shall we start?
How about with tall, dark, and mysterious?
Morgan, shut up, dude!
In the middle here.
That's your client. He was found standing over Chopin's body by the arresting officer.
Rogers, right? And then he knocked Sosuke out.
Correct.
So why is it this artistic rendition of Sosuke, and not a capture from Rogers' body cam?
Well, it seems like at the time...
Their body cam was off? Seriously?
Hey, I'd chew him out myself if he was here with us. It's department policy to have all sensors green when responding to an emergency.
Did all this not qualify as an emergency then?
Chopin, sorry. And Rogers were responding to shots fired, and that's not uncommon in this part of town. For two inexperienced officers first on the scene, it might not have come to mind. At least Chopin could use that excuse. Rest in peace. But apparently Rogers requests replacement body cams nearly every week.
Okay. If he's that big of a klutz, take away his gun once the city's done throwing him a parade.
I'll, put in a request.
Right then. Who's next?
Who the hell?
Who the hell are you, really? Why are you lying there dead right in the middle of my...
I'm sorry.
my crime scene?
That's so funny. This is my crime scene. What are you doing here?
I was Tariq Chopin, as you might guess, a patrol officer and the son of 2 loving fathers, who've strongly emphasized to the chief of police their desire to see justice done.
Reyes wasn't exaggerating about how he died.
Yeah, he didn't ask permission to play her game. It's not fair. It's true.
Run through from behind with a sword.
So he would have been standing in front of the desk. Then he was impaled. Then he collapsed to the floor face first, and the sword
Got stuck in the ground.
bad luck for the attacker, I suppose.
Yeah, Dr. Satos noted in her report that the stab wound was, in her words, jostled.
Pardon?
Like the attacker tried to pull it out, but it was stuck, so they had to jiggle it around. Hey, it's probably what saved Rogers' life. Kept your client distracted and disarmed long enough to give Rogers time to rush in.
Allegedly. Not where I left you, that's for sure. According to Sosuke, the one thing he does recall after I had passed the baton to him is gripping his sword. You're not giving me much to work with. Fingerprints on the grip match your client's right hand, by the way. Here I was getting my hopes up. And it definitely wasn't suicide, cause no one else's prints are on the damn thing.
Oh, thank God.
I ruled out suicide once I saw he was stabbed in the back, thank you. There are papers scattered underneath his body. Did I knock them off the desk at some point? Maybe when the tall one hit the ground? Or maybe when I was swinging that bat down on... Hang on. What kind of paper is this? I can't read a word. Really? You should get that looked at. My vision's 20/20. What am I looking at, Miss Site Manager? Those docs are internal business, ma'am. Nothing to worry your pretty little head over. How do you know they're internal business if we can't read them? You've really never seen red ink before? Never heard of it? It's a corporate information security protocol. Files with specific flags trigger specific print commands if you try to make physical copies. Makes it use some kind of special ink. Try to take a photo of it and it comes out. There we go. And it comes out a bright blur. Paper's special too. Too much heat, humidity, becomes illegible. A corpse splitting out on top of you is a lot of heat and humidity. So these documents contain confidential data that the blue bloods wouldn't want getting out.
Was that red ink? Was that what just was? Yeah. Okay.
What do they say in the movies? I can't confirm nor deny that. And if I subpoenaed the data, do your worst.
We've got lawyers too.
And unlike your client, they've all got the time in the world to stall. Besides, you and I both know exactly what the Hound's motive was. And it isn't written in those pages. It's written all over his busted up face.
Sure.
But you won't mind if I copy down whatever I can anyway, right? I wouldn't have any legal reason to stop you if that's what you're getting at.
Oh boy. Oh, red ink is also okay. Payments to support of re-election. Oh. Councilman. Referred to as the lower. Ooh. Be vote coming stress of the importance aspect of the highest level? Ooh. There's a. I know. Yes, there is a convention next month. Ooh. Interesting.
It's all coming together. Blood loss from the neck. Even I can tell that much. Stab with a bladed weapon right near the carotid. I think I messes up lesser artery. Very efficient. Not the kind of kill someone can make without prior experience. My client's a humble bodyguard. Come on now, I know you've got a job to do, but you'll shame him if you don't let him take credit for this one. Miller was no joke in a fight. To take him out with one clean stab to the neck using his precious signature katana. The Hound must be itching to brag about it. I'll defer to the medical examiner on this matter, thank you very much. What do you mean? Sato said the same thing. Katana to the neck, in not so many words. Is Miller's blood even on the katana? Even if it was, why would a medical examiner assume the katana was used here, when my knife is a much better fit for... my knife.
Guys, don't tell me. Please tell me this is scripted. Please, guys, please tell me this is scripted and I didn't forget the knife when I checked, please. Please tell me this is scripted. Oh my god. It's over. I ruined it.
Where is it? Where? I gave Sosuke the knife before I left. It should have been found on him when he was arrested. It should be somewhere in the arcs.
Jamie, don't say that! Jamie, please! Please, Jamie!
You looking for something, Tiger?
If they haven't found the knife and I ask about it anyway, that'd mean admitting that I know what's missing. If I tell them Sosuke mentioned a knife that only the killer would know about, I'd be ruining my case before we even enter the courtroom. Or worse, pointing the police in the direction of the knife's real origin.
Are you telling me? Okay. I didn't know that we could go back in the room. Or, I mean, it's possible that we couldn't have. But there was no brrrt to go back in the room. At least I think so. I'm gonna watch back the VOD and be like, just staring at it.
No, I just... Was anything found on my client's person when he was arrested?
Besides a gun, a sword, and a bunch of blood that did and didn't belong to him? No, not even any lint in his pockets. Uh-oh! Why do you ask?
No reason. Sometimes you gotta shake the tree to see what falls out. Or so they say.
Oh, you were blindly guessing. I've been there.
Something must have happened to that knife. It couldn't have just disappeared. Not from a crime scene locked down like this. I'll need to find it. But I can't just go looking for it. Is this what it feels like to play with a handicap?
Bruh! Crying.
I'd advise you to brace yourself before opening the autopsy photos for this one, counselor.
Yes, this is sufficiently obfuscated.
A lot to take in.
The skull was crushed?
Yes, but the cause of death was blood loss from a laceration across the neck. He hit the floor and bled out in seconds. Everything else you're seeing there is post-mortem. Overkill.
Not the word I'd use for this kind of shit.
Oh, calm down. I didn't do...
Dude, why are you getting personally offended? I hate her.
I didn't do it for the fun of it. In this specific instance, this victim had modded eyes. Seems to me like someone just didn't want to take any chances. Bullshit.
No one in the lower wards could get optic mods with recording functionality. You wouldn't be welcome anywhere. You gonna claim the Hound of Icaria didn't know something that fundamental? Nah, he bashed his brains in for the fun of it. I'm sure to a law-abiding citizen like yourself, we're all scum of the earth who deserve... I'm pretty scummy myself, hon. Defense attorney, remember? Who the hell deserves shit like this?
Deserved? What does that have to do with anything?
Well, Mulligan, you all kidding people, Mulligan. I just have to remind you, Mulligan.
I take it that the spat is what did the deed. Not just the splinters found inside his wounds, if you had any doubts. There's nothing here about Sosuke's fingerprints. You think we could get anything but partials off of that? It's practically splinters.
Makes sense. Oh, makes sense. I was the one who actually swung it down, and I was wearing gloves by then.
Whoever did this, they were damn enthusiastic. You know how hard they'd have to swing to crush a skull? Break the bat itself? I can't imagine.
Yeah, you could. It was barring Sosuke from exiting the other room before I used it to destroy Trey's eyes. But no one else knows that, and I have no way of informing them. What a pain. Yeah, so Sosuke broke the bat, huh? That's quick way.
There's some faint blood that's been smeared here. Did it belong to this victim? And Sosuke? I wonder if maybe the bodies hadn't gotten moved around for some reason, but... Client's legs and feet were soaked in others' blood when he was arrested. And he would have had to sneak up on Chopin in order to stab him in the back. Do you think he slid his feet across the ground to avoid making noise? Does he say otherwise? I'll let you keep guessing on that one.
Through this door is where they were keeping Sosuke and where I let him off the leash. I'll leave that for after I finish in here. Wait, was that... Oh my god, it was like 2 weeks ago. Was there a choice to leave the knife with him or not? I don't think that was a choice. I think that was scripted.
The screen. I turned it on to distract Tang so long enough to grab his gun. And I remember choosing not to turn it back off.
Interesting setup. Powerful setup. Was blaring when we arrived. Sound system, I mean. One of the CS techs is a real audiophile. Said it broke her heart how loud they must have blared the speakers all the time.
Yeah, she did leave the knife with him as part of the frame draw. Yeah, I remember that, but I forgot if it was a choice or not, but I don't think so. Didn't enjoy having to turn it back on before I left just to leave no trace. Okay.
Wears it out, she said.
I wouldn't count on orcas to value the longevity of their tech purchases. Okay, that was turned back on and then off.
Creek's fine wood desk. He seemed particular about it.
Maybe in no small part because it had a priceless no mask hidden inside it, but...
I assume you've been through this datapad here? Front to back, but we didn't find anything we didn't already know. Seems like Creek was smart enough to use it for payments and nothing else. How'd he manage that? Even gangsters need spreadsheets. Hence the paperwork you see scattered about. They really did everything by hand. PPP is what they call it over in organized crime. Paper and pencil protocol. Helps the orcas keep their books off the books.
Dude, that's crazy. Underground organizations now using paper to escape. Dude. You escape tech, that's cray. I mean, hey, like, if it works, it works, bro. Couldn't avoid touching it, yeah. Have they scanned for fingerprints? No, we wiped our fingerprints off of that, right? I think I remember that. Another murder weapon I had to wipe prints off or take my leave. It was indulgent. Trying to take Trey's head off wasn't my only indulgence either. I must have gotten Miller's blood on the blade's tip when I dragged it across the floor. Yeah, you were kind of cray-cray with that, girl. She was kind of cray-cray with that.
Or at least an informant that's easier to destroy, should push come to shove.
Did you run checks on this credit card that's jammed in here?
Ah, not surprised you don't recognize it. That there's a dark card.
Dude, she's crazy.
Wow, tell me more.
Wow, tell me more.
It's an untraceable wallet in the palm of your hand.
I would hope any wallet would fit in the palm of your hand, detective. But you really can't find the owner. Can't trace any of its transactions.
Most we can tell is the data pad registered calls to dark card networks at around 9:40 p.m., but it timed out.
What does that mean?
Transfer didn't go through. Either someone got cold feet or they forgot their password.
Happens to the best of us. Oh boy. Only reason I had to take my gloves off in the first place was because of this useless piece of plastic. Yeah, worth it for the aura. Yeah, for sure. By the way, why has this cloth been flagged?
Not sure. Forensics didn't find any blood on it.
Who flagged it?
Lady Rockford herself.
Oh, boy! Emma!
Could be that she fat-thumbed it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's nothing. Can we look at it? No, hey, hey, ooh, ooh, what is that cloth from? Is it from Creek? Was Creek wearing blue?
The big one. He made a strange face when I shot him and a loud slam when he hit the floor.
This one, real long rap sheet. With a short ending. Buckshot to the torso, died instantly. Flex wear on his Mars put his time of death at 9:44 p.m.
Killed by his own weapon.
Comes up as a bit short of poetic justice, but it doesn't look like he was in any kind of a struggle for it beforehand. But how someone managed to get it off his hands?
It wasn't any great feat, I assure you.
Tex identified it as a double-barrel mag US, and hey, how'd you know the gun was his? Oh!
Megan! Hey, detective, have you seen my phone charm, by the way? Cool, right? Look at her. I love her. Morgan, wake up! Wake up, Morgan! Wake up!
He's still wearing the holster and the arcs. Was I mistaken?
No.
Woo! Nice! Ooh! Alright.
About a week ago, Tanks here was stopped and frisked by a patrol unit, and they found this here gun on him.
They found this gun on him,
and they just handed it back to him. He bought it and paid for it above board.
So this gun isn't jailbroken? You have tag data from the murders?
No, we don't. Strange. According to the text, the gun is jailbroken.
What happened between last week and last night that he'd get the tags stripped off?
Oh, wait. Horribly gaudy, but got the job done. Last time I saw it, I left it in Sosuke's waistband. Yeah.
Something that made him think this piece would see action soon.
Yeah, he probably got it for the mask.
Windows open to the fire escape in the alley below. There's a thin misting of blood across them. Got a good guess as to who it belongs to.
This is where we found Creek, leader of the pod. Ballistics tells us the shooter was standing in front of the desk,
near where my client was found.
Your words, not mine. Nasty slug burst in his chest, blew blood back into the windows behind him.
The open windows.
Uh-oh.
Hell of a spread.
Yes, it is. Did someone open these, or
No, they were open when we secured the scene.
Any fingerprints?
Plenty on the handles there from Creek and his pod.
That's where the handles are?
Something wrong?
Definitely. But how the hell could I explain why I know that?
Landers!
No, sorry, I guess I'm wondering about the keys around his neck and the arcs.
Oh, well, one was a master key. Couldn't unlock any other door in the building. The other key we eventually paired to a small safe in his desk. Empty though.
Suppose that's all irrelevant since he apparently died with the keys on his person.
Yeah, I got my eye too, to be honest, but not every detective's instinct pans out.
So who was this guy?
Curious?
Only professionally. I don't care who he was before I killed him!
Dude, she's cranky. She's cranky. She's cranky.
Criminal record.
I'm crazy. Okay.
Criminal record dating as far back as it goes. Sealed when he turned 18.
What makes you so sure he has a juvenile record then?
The more experience these guys get, the more time in between their arrests. Pattern I'm seeing, he was pretty damn experienced by the time he was age.
You trying to compliment him?
I wasn't trying to insult him, hon.
Anything you'd like to add?
Nah, nothing I want to say in front of you two.
If you want to say a few words, the detective and I could set up. Only words I have are for his killer. I'll deliver them in person, or not at all. Fair enough. Do you have any idea why someone might want to hurt this Creek fellow?
That's not funny. The dog, or that dog you're defending.
It's a fair question, hon. Give it fair consideration.
Besides the Icadia, the rest are our city's finest. No, Creek was charismatic and driven. Plus, he made us a lot of money. No true blue would want him gone. The bloodthirsty Icadia soldier he was interrogating, however, probably wasn't a huge fan.
What about family?
This is getting old fast.
Younger brother's listed as his next of kin.
Leave his brother out of this. Hell, leave me out of this. Rooting through a person like you're picking at zits.
I mean, we're kind of detectives, ma'am.
Well, seems like he's out of town anyway, taking summer lessons at How Mariner U.
That's a good school.
An expensive school. Younger brother has no listed occupation. Also, no priors and no juvenile record. TAD at his age. Poor kid. Bills for that cost an arm and a leg. Creek must have been sending him.
Detective, did you just leak the confidential medical data of a
non-suspect to a third party? Ooh!
Hey, you don't have to report. How about I buy you an ice cream or something?
Bribes with ice cream, I'm crying.
Bribery, too? You're digging yourself pretty deep.
Is it still bribery if I'm the government official?
Dude, fucking leaks shit and then is like,
Hey, you want some ice cream?
For real, okay. You checking all over the place in case I forgot something. Oh!
Paper scattered all over his desk. Suppose I'm partially to blame. I didn't exactly memorize his setup before I started searching for the mask. What's this?
What'd you find there? A note?
Uh-oh, Mr. Icadia! Or M. Icadia. Oh, wait, no. Who's M? Do we know an M. Icadia? I forget the kid's name. Nope. Masters is her last name. I'm dumb. That's terms. Makoto! That's his name, Makoto. Yep. Uh-oh.
Looks like Creek's handwriting from the other files I've seen. M. Icadia.
Me.
Looks like M. Icadia, actually. He's dead, London. I was gonna let the spelling mistake slide. Right, sorry, but M? That's gotta be Makoto, right? You know Makoto? I know he's the Icadia's heir apparent. From what I hear, he's an appropriately frightening young scion. He's really quite something. But why would his name be on Creek's desk? He was Creek's real target the other day. Sosuke was some kind of consolation prize. Bag in the Hound was a consolation prize? These punks had their sights set high. Yeah. Like no one taught them not to stare at the sun. Okay. Looks like that's everything in here. Well, I don't envy either of your workloads. It's a mess in here. There's a lot of blood, that's for sure.
I'm impressed you haven't gotten nauseous, miss.
I'd be right at home here if you all weren't poking your noses around. Shoot, I just remembered. I'll never hear the end of it if I don't check in with my partner after saying I would. Be too good to keep going if I step out and make a call. A call? Is your partner your mom?
Shut up, dude.
And is your mom blind? Send a text. Thanks for your understanding.
Maybe he was the one with the weak stomach. You be sure to let me know if you're feeling faint.
I can keep going. We're nearly finished anyway.
I'd stick to the arcs if I were you.
Nothing behind that door that's better seen in person. You've been such a gracious host up until this point, Miss Han. Why the cold feet now?
It's ugly in there.
Uglier than this?
Different kind of ugly, then.
It's all in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah, shut up, Morgan. We know you like it.
I warned you.
Oh my god, I love Danganronpa.
And is your mom single?
She really is such a show-off, dude.
Don't worry, I can stomach it just fine. So long as I can understand it. Why did Creek's pod torture my client?
I don't know what they did.
Sosuke told me they electrocuted him, Han.
They probably just grounded him. Low-grade currents applied every few minutes. Stops most mods from rebooting. So no SOS pings, no adrenaline bursts pulled out of his ass.
And pliers, hammers, and syringes? What purpose did they serve?
Oh!
They could have just killed Sosuke when they failed to nab Makoto. Instead, they dragged him down here. Why? To try and get info on Makoto's itinerary? Get enough intel to make another run at him? If there are any answers for me in here, I'll need a grout scraper to find them.
Oh boy. Ugh. Ooh, needles.
Hypodermic needles. Probably not packing anything healthy. Sosuke better hope they were at least sanitized. I'm not sure Sarah can treat an infection with gauze and rubbing alcohol alone. But those needles there. The design of these needles seems a little odd.
Well, someone will tell you sooner or later, so... They're projectiles. Load them into a gun and fire away.
Sosuke was captured by men wielding needle guns.
Needle guns? Oh! Are found containing stimulants and drugs commonly marketed as truth serums.
Does Science Security have any peacekeeping tools they'd like to disclose as having recently gone missing?
You're cursing up the wrong pipe. Creep could find tools all on his own, and we're not that kind of operation.
An operation where the right hand doesn't know what the left is doing?
More like the right hand's just been washed. So if you have to handle some garbage...
Science is that legitimate? Why aren't all the Blue Bloods working legal jobs then?
Not enough positions available. You gotta earn like hell to be considered for a job on this side of the fence.
Creek and his pod weren't bringing in that kind of money.
They liked Creek's pod where it was.
Who's they?
Upper management. Crafted specifically for one special customer. I'm just the one given the honor of hanging. Oh.
And did upper management like Creek?
I'm just a humble site manager, miss. I wouldn't know.
Sure. So do all these needles contain anesthetics?
No. They're also stimulants and barbitacine. Okay. Yeah, that's the truth serum. How to tell someone is cheating? See who he has me muted on social media. I see. Barbitacine.
Like the truth serum?
You can get sued for selling it as such. It makes you talk. Doesn't make what you say the truth.
So they wanted Sosuke talking. But what did they ask him?
If your client can't remember or isn't willing to recall, there's really no one else alive who would know, yeah?
Damn! Okay.
Oh, okay. That's the hammer that went pew pew, or boom boom, I should say.
Has all this blood been tested, Miss Hahn?
Enough of it has. Besides Sosuke, who else would it belong to?
That's a bit lazy, but it's not as if there's more here than the last time I visited. Sosuke really did lose a lot of blood. By the time he stumbled out of here, a stiff freeze should have been enough to knock him over. Is he really such a badass that he still managed to take out a police officer before he'd even noticed? It's not as if I feel nothing, looking at someone else's handiwork, the product of their violence. But it's like an artificial sweetener. No complaints for that first instant. Then the aftertaste comes. Empty calories. I'll just be hungrier again later. Faster. Best to stay disciplined.
My God, Morgan! Oh my God, bro. You're nuts.
It's water. Cold enough that condensation's on the outside of the bucket. Is that water for sponge baths?
Just a simple way to keep a guest from dozing off. Temperature shock makes caffeine look like a sleep aid.
This coming after you claim you don't know if Sosuke was tortured. You know what the other bucket's for, then?
I know you said you got a weak sense of smell, but do you really need a hint here? The poop bucket!
But then this last bucket here is...
What is that? Trash?
Cloth and rope. Bindings.
Or bandages. See, they were nursing him back to health.
I'll run your theory past Sosuke next chance I get. This must be what's left of what they were keeping Sosuke tied up with.
They would have had to use something, yeah. This door doesn't even lock.
Not after I removed the bat barring it from the outside. So he was brought here, tied up, questioned. Then he breaks out, bursts into the next room, cuts up 2 of his captors, and blows the other 2 away. That's what you think happened.
That's what it looks like.
And then what? Chopin runs in and turns his back on a violent criminal.
Don't strain yourself trying to make it sound improbable. Cops are dumb. If the hound crouched in a corner, he'd have his chance soon enough. Hell, he probably just played dead. Walking into that scene out there, you think some patrol officer would go around checking pulses?
Why would my client go to all that trouble to get the jump on an officer? Why not just run away? Hell, why not ask him for medical treatment?
Because he was standing in the middle of the 4 men he just killed?
I know that Sosuke had no logical reason to attack Chopin. So what? Even Sosuke himself says he would have been acting on instinct. Would instinct tell him that Chopin was in between him and his escape? I'm getting a headache, but it's not from anything sensory.
I should know more about this crime scene than anyone. Why can't I piece it together? If I can't piece it together, the cops will never trace any of this back to me. Right? So why do I feel so ill at ease?
Okay, thanks for your patience, ladies. Did I miss anything?
Nah.
Oh.
Would you have felt better if you had? I'm going to head out now, actually. I've got a long day tomorrow.
You're going back by yourself then? Are you sure? I can get you a ride out of the neighborhood.
I'm sure Miss Hun here has already made sure that we'll both get out of here without any trouble. That is her company's area of expertise, isn't it? Of course.
Well, at least let me walk you out.
Oh, he's such a gentleman!
Sure, why not?
Safe travels. Oh, I think she's sussy.
So, detective, there's something you didn't want to talk about in front of the professionals at Zionist Security? Thanks for picking up on that.
Reyes will be upset that you never checked in.
Yeah, right after this I will.
This room. Are we directly underneath the crime scene?
Yep, same fire escape right there.
Same type of window, too. Has this room been scanned into the arcs?
Yeah, but no one found anything noteworthy. Except Zionists being sloppy.
So what were you actually doing when you left Han and I back there?
Something Han said earlier about how no true blue would wish harm on Creek. Her phrasing stood out to me.
Because it implies the existence of false blue bloods?
Because it reminded me of one of the first things I learned in this city. There are no monoliths. Meg's, Orca, City Hall, there's always factions. And among the blue bloods, the party lines are especially visible. So I made a call, not to Reyes, and confirm some things.
And
I figure I owe you a little hint or two, considering the tone of the last message I delivered. That message warned me not to broaden the scope of my investigation.
Getting hints from you might be self-defeating.
Not these hints. Trust me.
So, what faction did our pal Creek belong to?
The Young Bloods. Opposite end of the compass from the Old Guard. The conservative blue blood leadership. All of them older than 70. Some of them pushing higher than 90. Han said Creek was too useful for anyone to want dead, but my sources don't agree. Creek talked. Said things aloud that others only whispered. Ambitious, charismatic, up and coming, and young. Could easily see him being very unpopular with all the wrong people in the Old Guard.
That's interesting info, detective, but it doesn't exactly flip this case on its head. I already know who killed Creek. Police have already decided it's Sosuke. Learning that he had some occupational hazards will hardly convince the jury otherwise. My client's the one standing accused, and everyone already knows why Blue Bloods and Ikarias want to kill each other.
Do you?
They're rival gangs. They hate each other.
Do you know why? It's the same reason all the Blue Blood leadership is ancient, while all their muscles made up of orphans and delinquents. 30 years ago, the Ikaria betrayed their peace with the Blue Bloods. Started killing them. And then it stopped for days. By the end of it, every single member of the leading Blue Blood families under the age of 40 was dead.
Well, I can see how their kids would grow up to hate the Ikaria. Yeah.
You're not getting it, Tiger. Their kids didn't grow up at all.
Ooh, shit. If that's the case, how are the Blue Bloods still around?
For one thing, the Ikaria had bigger fish to fry. This is right before the Red Decade. They spent every second of the next 10 years positioning themselves so they can come out of the other end as nobility. Second, remember the Blue Bloods found a new niche to fill. Taking in delinquents furious at a country driven off a cliff by adults before they could even get a chance to vote. Blue Bloods swelled their ranks to new heights by looking out for the little guys during those years, in exchange for favors down the line. Lastly, and most importantly, they survived because they still had hope. You serious? I am. It's a powerful weapon. Hope for what? Hope that the Ikaria had missed one. That they'd fled the country. Hope that a promised heir would go strong and return one day. A triumphant little lord with overflowing wishes and overwhelming power. Sounds like a fairy tale. Those endure for a reason. Well, now you know. A warning to watch where you step isn't exactly worth much if you're fumbling around in the dark. Fairy tales and warnings. What's up?
Oh boy. Interesting. Red Hood. Sounds familiar.
Hey, you ever pay attention to any of this graffiti down here? Scrawlings about Lobo and the cyberpunk and HBK increasingly. I haven't seen that myself. Was gonna say Red Hood. Why are you asking? You feel a chill down your spine? Bah, except for HBK, that's all old news. Ghost stories and campfire tales.
There are a lot of campsites around here.
Lots of places to start fires. But Red Hood, haven't heard that in who knows how long. It's one of the oldest.
Oh, powerful weapon and a powerful poison depending on the situation, for real.
Rough story. It's based on a real event. Nothing worth recounting. I'll take your word for it. Hey, did you or your pals in OC never hear about some kind of blue blood hunter? Like a bounty hunter? Or a huntsman, maybe? Where'd you hear that?
Sosuke thinks he might have overheard talk of something like that while he was in captivity. Does it mean anything?
Nope.
I don't like the hesitation there, detective.
Just an urban legend. I would have said the same thing about Unlisted before this afternoon, and yet... Fair enough. If you see a huntsman and live to tell the tale, I'll buy you as many lotto tickets as you want. What's gotten into you that you're feeling all superstitious? Guilty conscience? Oh! You mean about working with the mafia? A psychologist would call that projecting. Ouch.
Turn it right back on him, girl.
Too far. Nah. Didn't feel a thing. I don't know why I asked, really. Guess I just had an odd feeling all day. Like deja vu? Oh! You been here before? No, I hate that feeling. It's whatever the opposite of that would be. The unnerving certainty that you're in uncharted waters. Scary stuff.
You know something! Oh boy, I'm mugging your pop, man. He so absolutely has her down as some kind of freak, yeah. He knows the freak lives inside of her.
Karia, Blue Blood, Megs, Orcas, dirty cops and criminal informants.
What, Jamaivu? The feeling that a situation should be familiar is strange and... That's a thing? Well, now I know.
Lines drawn back and forth across a battlefield like a spider's suspension bridge. Dizzying in its complexity, frail along any given strand. But one wrong move and you're completely ensnared. Priorities. The Ikaria don't care about who tore through Creek's gang. They would prefer Sosuke doesn't spend life in prison for killing a cop. The Blue Bloods want to tear Sosuke's throat out, but if Han's taken at her word, they're settling for 5 counts of murder. Can I take Han at her word? Is she a young blood like Creek, or is she with the old guard? Could I have asked London that? If I had, could I have trusted his answer?
Oh, it comes up in Disco Elysium? Well, shit. There you go.
Because it turns out that Cuisine London is much,
much harder to read than I anticipated. And I can't even trust my client to act in his own self-interest. The man's a bodyguard by trade and a zealot for his house.
Dude, the whiskey standing alone in the ashtray over there, that's so fire, dude. Of course Morgan's a whiskey girl.
The trial starts tomorrow. Do I still need more information? Is there time to find it? No. What I need right now is a nightcap. If I can't fall asleep, then I'll know I'm in trouble. Until then, guess sleep will have to wait.
It's unlocked.
Hello? Pardon me for dropping in at such a late hour, Counselor Morgan. Who? Standing there in my doorway, she got through the light like a blade of split ink. Oh, okay, what the fuck? What is this? They're twice as sharp and not nearly as familiar. Dude, what the fuck? Dude, what is this? Film noir shit!
It is outside of normal consultation hours, miss. She purses her lips.
Like lily petals shying away from the moonlight, my god. She's like one of my Detective Noir films. What? What's a smirk by any other name? God, Morgan, I hate your ass. Oh shit, she's got sharp nails. And she's smoking. Oh no, I can't. Morgan's so horny, she brought up a typewriter. She looks hot. Man, I don't have any more sexy women voices. Please leave me alone. Okay. Shit. But I just... Yeah, wait, no, she's super gay. Holding that golden witch pipe? Oh, for sure. Graknorg, if you like Umineko, come back Wednesday. We're playing it. God. Please. Well, I guess I could... Okay, she seems of nobility. I'll change this if she's not, but I'm going to do an accent.
Please, call me Mireille. Any last name, Mireille? The question floats in the air like curling cigarette smoke. I could tell she was used to the smell.
I hate this bitch.
I'll leave that up to your imagination. Self-assured and unapologetic, the unspoken family name loud as a signature. Written in blood. You're from House Icaria. Might I step inside? She blinks. Her head turns a millimeter. A forked tongue testing the temperature of the air.
Okay, alliterations.
She wasn't asking for permission. Just you. What about your friends in the hallway? She raises an eyebrow but keeps staring at the floor. She's surprised at my perception of the unseen threat, but not quite impressed.
I don't think they need to join us. Do you?
She was kind of a woman to make you remember.
Lock in.
Smoking could kill.
Are we done, Morgan? Are we done? Oh my god. No, we're not done. Okay, now we're done. Okay. Yes. Oh, you haven't finished Umineko? Took a break after episode 5 to put my little gray cells to work. Dude, we are on episode 5. Yeah, it's me, Lanny, and my friend Shane, and we're all voice acting it. So, if you like episode 5, come watch if you want.
How can I be of service, Mireille?
Let me look at that. I love women. Representative, sipping alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and arachnids. All right. Select the prices, black tea, and photographers. Fave smell dojo floors, making use of people, and hiding my distaste. Great.
I want you.
You're already being quite accommodating, both to me and my
my family's interests. I came here tonight to be of service to you.
Well, to me?
I understand that you're somewhat new to this underworld of ours.
I'm grateful for the offer, Mireille. But inexperienced as I am, I've gathered that House Acadia didn't come into its fortune by being generous.
Would you like to know how the House Acadia did come into its fortune?
I know you operate a lending corporation with a significantly diversified portfolio.
Yes, the good old IFG. The public face of the Acadia criminal empire, clean-shaven as it's become.
And I know you founded a pharmaceutical company and profited immensely when it went public.
And before that?
I know your family became nobility during the years of civil unrest. No doubt by being well positioned when the time came to reprivatize our nation's industries.
Yes. And before that?
Why are we giving pop quiz? Hello?
I know you slaughtered the Blue Bloods 30 years ago.
Very good, Counselor Morgan.
You've acclimated, that's it.
You've acclimated to our waters remarkably fast.
What I don't know is why Makoto Ikaria has been the target of multiple kidnapping attempts over the past year.
You can't fathom a guess as to why the Blue Bloods might want to ransom the family's heir.
That's the only guess I can make. It strikes me as shallow. Nothing more dangerous than waters you don't know the depth of.
As you said, 30 years ago, the Acadia Cartel, an unrecognizable band of brutes and drug smugglers compared to today, massacred the respectable Blue Bloods and left their geriatric leadership to die on the vine.
I like that Sprite. I like that woman.
But we thrust the knife much deeper than that.
You went after their heirs?
And their entire future. Are you familiar with genetic factor authentication?
Using DNA as a password?
Blood, specifically. Easier than memorizing a string 3 billion characters long.
But GFA has fallen out of favor, hasn't it?
GFAs? Oh, that's it. Okay. That's basically what we were just talking about. Okay.
The Blue Bloods made ample use of it back then.
A bad bet.
They already had all their offshore accounts, business titles, property deeds. The Blue Bloods thought they had already won, but they were establishing a dynasty. So as they made their political marriages, they bound their alliances and fortunes in literal blood. GFA was both the financial and symbolic laundering of the Blue Bloods' past. Their children, now married, clean-cut and perfectly respectable, would prosper alongside wealth, no longer tainted by ill-gotten gains. So that GFA registry became the Acadia's checklist. We went through and crossed out anyone that could have accessed those funds. Now all of it sits untouchable overseas in encrypted digital warehouses in some of the oldest, most austere banks in the world, collecting interests that will never be claimed. Does that answer your question as to why they target Makoto?
No. And you know it doesn't. Because if they thought they could lock you out of your coffers by killing Makoto, they wouldn't be trying to take him alive.
You're paying attention. I like that. We don't use GFA, and Makoto is the heir to House Acadia, to the Acadia Financial Group. He'd never be tied to our legitimate banking information.
Why not? What if he wants to buy a lollipop?
Sorry.
A lollipop would be provided for him. The family's black market proceeds, and its white market holdings must never mix.
You divided your house right down the middle? Pardon the expression, but how can you stand? Get it?
Alright. A atop the backs of many.
And you all take this division that seriously?
Deadly seriously. That is our family's rule, dating back centuries. Either you serve the house or you serve its interests, never both.
So you're assigned to either the criminal organization, what's registered as the IFG, or to managing the family's legitimate business holdings like Renegan. But that means you
are nearly as much of an outsider to the Acadia Financial Group as you are.
Nearly is doing a lot of work there. Who do you answer to then? Who controls the Acadia's legitimate empire?
Until Makoto marries
his mother. And I take it Makoto isn't solely responsible for the house's affairs at his age?
Makoto wields great authority as the heir. But yes, the house is led by his father Raphael, and more directly by his grandfather, our patriarch Daisuke Ikania.
I see. But that puts me back where I started. The Blue Bloods want to hold Makoto hostage to gain leverage on the likes of Daisuke. How can I put this?
Had things gone even slightly different 30 years ago, the Blue Bloods would be the ones shaking hands with politicians, marrying ambassadors and sitting in boardrooms. Some of them believe it can still be so, if the right match were made.
They want to marry into House Ikania? But Makoto's and all the real Blue Bloods are older than...
They'd find an age-appropriate adoption. You're missing the point. They need Makoto alive and well to negotiate that kind of reversal of fortune.
So they've been trying to capture him for the past year. But every Blue Blood I met today seemed to care a lot more about getting revenge for their dead men than kidnapping a preteen.
How many of them do you think Sosuke's cut down in the last year? He spent repelling their attempts.
Is that a source of internal conflict? If the old guard are throwing young bloods to an Ikaria shredder en masse, trying to capture Makoto just to elevate themselves, I suppose that all might total up to enough to enough motivation for them to torture Sosuke. Yeah.
I had heard Sosuke was wounded. No one informed me that he had been tortured.
You know him, I take it?
As you've gathered, Sosuke deals in matters unrelated to my side of the family. But he is still family. Speaking of my side, I have a duty as a representative of my wing of the house to stress that we do not want this trial to be prolonged.
So the bean counters don't care for the extra attention. That makes sense. You care about the outcome.
A win is always preferable,
but not a necessity. Makoto Ikania hired me to prove Sosuke's innocence. If he's the one signing the checks...
Did he say why he hired you? He hired you for 2 reasons. Reason 1 is options are limited. More limited than he suggested, no doubt, to keep a strong front. The entire house is currently being audited by the state. Our usual legion of lawyers and accountants are already billing hours as fast as they can, so he wouldn't have his pick of the litter.
So one half of the family can't talk business at the dinner table with the other half. Do you share a pool of lawyers?
Lawyers can be trusted to be discreet, can they not?
Yeah, we can read between the lines.
Then you'll understand reason 2. Whatever lawyer he did find through the Akania's usual connections would, like me, do whatever's best for the house as a whole.
And not what's best for Sosuke.
I'll make an amendment. 3 reasons. Makoto knew that if he didn't assign him any lawyer, Sosuke would just stay silent as the state dragged him off to be chained, rather than inconvenience the house any further.
Well, yeah. I've known Sosuke for less than a day, and even I can tell he's never seen a cross he wouldn't jump at the opportunity to bear. That explains why Makoto would hire someone without connections to the Acadia. You slow rolling another addendum that'll clear up why on earth my name came across his desk? littered with crayons. I'm sorry. And times tables, as I'm sure.
Dude, I love Morgan making fun of him. It's so funny.
I hope I've been able to elucidate matters for you, Counselor Morgan.
Masterfully subtle way to say we're done talking.
Now, I might ask you a small favor in return. Pass this message to Sosuke. If you see a way out, take it.
Do you understand what you're asking him to do? Even if Sosuke took a plea bargain, even if I somehow got the other charges reduced to manslaughter, self-defense, the state thinks he killed a cop.
The message is for Sosuke, not you. Your interpretation of it is irrelevant.
Dude, I 100% I think she means kill yourself. 100% she means kill yourself.
End of conversation. As she reaches the exit, she turns back to look at me, lingering in the doorway like the warm buzz of a strong, dark cocktail.
But your assessment is correct. If this were just 4 dead blue bloods, our dim little underworld could balance out the ledger unassisted. If that cop hadn't showed up last night.
Do you know something about the late Officer Chopin?
City in mourning after death of City Councilman's beloved adopted son in the line of duty. All I know is that his funeral dirge will make those 4 boys' deaths sound like a disinterested sigh. By the way, I must admit you have a lovely apartment, Counselor.
Ah, yeah!
Changing subject as suddenly as a bullet train hopping its tracks.
Quite spacious for a defense attorney.
Yeah, place wouldn't sell after the tram route got diverted. I negotiated down the run and then installed all the soundproofing myself.
Can't open the windows without being treated to the sounds of the city, then?
There's always a cost.
That's one mystery solved, then, isn't it? Enjoy the rest of your quiet evening, Counselor.
The door glides to a close behind her, easy as a question left unasked. I'm left here hanging on by a single held breath of stillness, listening as the deafened thud of her honor's guard implied violence stops down the hallway behind her.
My dude, she's gotta know something. She's gotta know something, dude. Well, that was interesting. I'm gay. She's hot.
I was still leaning back in my chair, staring whole into my ceiling long after the scent of her expensive tobacco had faded into Noel, savoring it while it lasted was beyond me at the moment.
The fuck? Morgan, what do you mean by that, bro?
My attention's elsewhere. This case is knotted and twisted like a gnarled oak. Just when I think I found my rhythm, the blade runs dull. Carving is an exercise in patience and vision. You need to start with a clear picture of what you want. I want some answers. But for now, I'll sleep. Tomorrow in court, I'll just have to keep whittling away at the wood until I fashion something halfway usable. And, well, if that doesn't work, I'll use a chainsaw.
I know you. Metaphorically and physically, I know you'll. Hey, cool kid. Oh! Yes, you tried to look all stoic staring out the window. A little late to try and look detached after that thing you pulled the other day. Oh. So that wasn't a joke? Making that announcement in front of the class? You trying to start a detective club or something? What mysteries? Disappearing cleaning supplies? Books not getting returned to the library? Sounds lame. Well, not like that's your fault. Everything's lame. Good luck finding members. Everyone around here already knows what they're gonna do after school. And tomorrow, and next year. They're all staring down the barrel of a lucrative career in telling other companies how to provide web services or whatever the hell this school's supposed to train us for. A lawyer? If you say so, cool kid. The Megs will probably have robots doing that by the time you graduate, but sure. Law school's supposed to be hard to get into. You'll need a record that doesn't suck. Getting the club you started shut down because you couldn't get anyone to join probably won't help. Wow, so confident. You really are a cool kid. The fuck with that? What the fuck?
Morgan gets bullied by a girl once, kills people. Morgan, please, this is... Hold still and relax. This will be over soon. I thought you were joking about the makeup. Oh my god! Of course I wasn't joking. A face like yours is invaluable in the courtroom. And you think covering me in concealer and blush and applying eyeliner will help me appeal to what demographic exactly? Do you know the names of all this stuff? I'm a modern man. I know the names of many things, including makeup. Is that your eyebrow gel? Okay, Slay. Yes? It's cakey. Do you want to do the rest?
I think some of the jury might find that his wounds make him look rugged. And furthermore, from an aesthetic perspective, leaving some of his buttons undone will...
Excuse me?
You're clearly a very devoted martial artist, Sosuke. You should be proud...
Oh. Sarah! You're 2 seconds old!
You should be proud to display your well-defined collarbones as the fruit of your efforts.
Just hold still. Appearances matter in the courtroom. 95% of defendants who are ever seen in prison garb at trial are found guilty. I doubt your tactics work, Morgan. My tactics included getting your suit pressed. Do you want me to wrinkle it back up? I just find them unpalatable. Trying to get the jury, these civilians, to pity me's shameful.
Excuse you, she's almost 3, my bad.
You're worried about honor. Really? You're already a cybernetic ninja, Sosuke. Don't be a stereotype. Don't call other people stereotypes.
He's right, Adonai. And he's more of a cybernetic samurai since he's sworn himself to a wealthy land-owning noble. I mean, hey.
I'm confused, Sosuke. Is it honorable how your family makes their money? Made their money? I'm not talking about morality. I'm talking about having principles. Yes, they're subjective, and yes, they can be hypocritical. But the further you stray from the common path, the more you need them. I mean, what about her? What would Sarah be like if she didn't have tenets to guide her programming? Oh! Hey now! Hey! Ooh! I can only imagine.
Dude, if you're following that logic, Sosuke, someone put the horny tenet in there, dude.
But some people, believe it or not, enjoy their freedoms. Adrift in the middle of the ocean, you're free to go in whatever direction you want. But without a compass, you'll just die of exposure. If you only ever follow exactly what the compass says, you'll sail north until you freeze to death. The point is, if you have a compass, you know which direction north is. Fortunate for us all, then, that the state is a 1,000,000 megawatt North Star, pointing towards complacency at all times.
And the media is like the wind, and without wind, you'll get stuck in the tide.
For real, Sarah, for real.
Everyone clap for Sarah. Everyone clap for Sarah. Yep, visionary.
It was a nice try, Sarah. Forget it. Do whatever you want with your brushes, woman. And you're pounding again. Great.
Hashtag true.
Sarah, just keep him talking. What? If I'm talking, how will you... Trust me, I've done more delicate work before. Sarah, small talk?
Gladly, Adonai.
Mom history!
Sosuke, do you happen to have any tattoos?
Are the jury going to ask about that or something?
They might.
Oh. Well, yes, as a matter of fact, I do have a tattoo. Komainu on my back.
Komainu, a guardian dog.
You have a tattoo of a dog?
That's basically him, bro.
It's
a fierce guardian deity. Like a Labrador or like a great fierce a big dog.
Perhaps you should have it changed to some other design, like, say, like a dragon?
Oh. Sarah, don't tell me you played Yakuza. There's no switching. Like a what? The buyer's remorse must be unbearable. There's no buyer's remorse. Lift your chin. You really think they'll feel bad for me because of some cuts and scrapes? You're not good at listening to instructions, are you? The prosecution has to get 12 strangers to agree that you killed 5 men. Each charge has to be unanimous, a perfect score. So any chip damage we can do, any doubt we can sow, we take it. And any advantage we're given, we make full use of it. But the advantage you're talking about is my face.
Are you really not used to this kind of attention, Sosuke?
Look, it may be true that at times some women have expressed.
And men, no doubt. Okay, Sarah. She said, ally! She said, #ally!
All I'm saying is that there's a difference between knowing your strengths and powdering up like this. Pretend it's war paint.
Hold on. Sorry, I had to sneeze really loud. Sarah Fujoshi real? #ally!
Is that how you see it?
I clicked out the game, oh no!
No, but I'm a grown-up.
Thank you for entertaining my questions last night, Sosuke.
Did she ask you about your dimensions?
Oh, dimensions! The subject might have come up. Oh my god, Sarah!
She's a talkative one, isn't she? Sorry if she kept you up all night. No, she's no trouble, just curious. Reminds me of... we discussed history. Oh, well then she must have put you right to sleep.
Adonai, it was his choice of subject.
So you read history, Sosuke. Here, I assumed you spent all your free time frowning in the corners of rooms with your arms crossed.
We talked about the Roman Empire. Okay. For your information.
And criminal empires. Nothing too detailed, I hope.
But Sosuke, I still don't understand. What did you mean when you said criminal organizations used to be structured differently?
Only that the old ways don't fit in our new 21st century world.
Old ways?
Well, he's talking about race, Sarah.
Race? I don't understand. What race?
Well, that's to be expected. After all, you share 98% of your components with a washing machine.
Dude, what the fuck? That is an untrue and unflattering comparison.
Maybe you do get it.
Dude, Sarah wants to know about everyone's titties. Equal opportunity for sure.
Look, Sarah. Names like Mafia, Gokudo, Sanhehui? I'm sorry. They all came from different cultures, but they all refer to a kind of path. An outsider's path and the pride that comes with living by your own set of rules. Those were the first criminal organizations. Underground guilds, lending systems, militias. Duh. Secret societies. Oh, sure. They were basically just big, friendly charities. Then the world got smaller and people started moving around and the mafia changed. It became a way for immigrants to band together to have some kind of power in places that wouldn't give them a chance at anything remotely respectable. But the world kept getting smaller and more complex, and eventually that kind of community couldn't form, let alone survive.
Why?
Not enough shared experiences.
Shared experiences. I see.
Fancy way of saying the internet came along. Well, yes, technology negates the physical distance between people. When you spend most of your life online, you end up with more in common with people on the other side of the planet than your own neighbors. Just because of where your recommendations take you.
So the immigrant experience disappeared?
Fractured, more like. Cracked into a million shards with a hammer. While generational or economic experiences got cemented. The world is more diverse and varied than it's ever been in every sense. Except economically.
Wealth inequality is at historical highs.
As it has been every year since before I was born. To answer your question, Sarah, that's what binds the members of a criminal organization to one another. Their socio-economic status. House Ikaria is at the top. The Blue Bloods lie below us. Within each organization, wealth is concentrated among the leadership, of course, but each mafia exists in entirely different strata.
I see. I've also read about an organization called the Rust being active here in the city. Are they in the poverty class then?
The Rust? I'd put them in the anarchy class. Glowing tattoos and spiked hair, chrome biceps and sharpened teeth. The Blue Bloods, for all their faults, can put on a tie and go to work. But I can't see the Rust experiencing any kind of social mobility. Careful, Sosuke. If the Rust heard you being that classist, the Rust wouldn't care about anything I said or who I stand with. They don't need any excuse to start ripping open modders and grabbing whatever they can.
Uh-oh. Things like that happen in the city?
Only in the shadows, Sarah. Nowhere you'd ever find yourself. Finally ran out of steam? Onto the grim business, then. How'd things go with your investigation? That bad, was it? Nonsense! It was pretty bad. With what I've seen so far, there's no one else who could have killed Chopin. Even if I manage to pick apart all the evidence or the pod's stats, they've got a police officer who will swear on the stand that he arrested Sosuke, standing over his partner's dead body. What's it going to look like in there? You've never been inside a courtroom? Never as a defendant. I'm just wondering how many cops I should expect. In the gallery, a sea of blue. Cheap imitation tactics. Yes, but I can't fault them for that. We'd line up much the same for one of ours. You say that, and yet I don't see any other Ikania around. This is a completely different scenario. And the house can't afford to appear beside a cop killer when they're being audited by the state. How understanding of you.
Adonai, I think Sosuke is sad that his friends haven't showed up.
Oh! Good catch.
You were hired by Makoto of House Ikaria, weren't you, Adonai? Surely he would want to be in attendance.
Don't be absurd. Makoto shouldn't be transported anywhere without a full security team. Besides which, he shouldn't be put through the long elevator ride to this 48th floor just for my sake. Oh no! A long elevator ride! Oh no! What's so bad about an elevator ride?
Is he claustrophobic?
No. That is, yes, but you cannot tell anyone, I understand. Oh, okay, well that's the problem with elevator rides. Who the hell would I tell that to? Right. Look, it's illegal to stream trial proceedings under most circumstances, but I'm sure House Ikaria doesn't mind paying a fine. Okay, hold on. A DL6 moment? For real. He just told us that he's claustrophobic, but why was... What, didn't Sosuke get kidnapped in an elevator? Or am I remembering that correctly? If he's claustrophobic, why was he in the elevator in the first place? Or why was Makoto in the elevator with him in the first place? They'll be watching from somewhere in the courtroom. That would be a waste of the house's coin. But I suppose they might consider keeping an eye on the case's progression. As well the Blue Bloods, no doubt.
Adonai, I think Sosuke's spirits have rallied.
Really? How can you tell? Oh, yeah! Yeah!
Me when my girlfriend is in is in bright light.
He lifted his gaze and his eyes seemed brighter as if...
Oh, good. Now try and keep his spirits high.
How do I do that?
Think of something fun.
Right. Sosuke, shall we arm wrestle?
Oh, don't do that to him.
Oh. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning, Emma. You seem tired.
Want to push this off until next week? Actually, that sounds...
Hey. Sorry. But we'll be facing off soon enough. Why not savor the playfulness while we still can? Kiss! Sorry.
Fair enough. Losing sleep over this case? Not really, no. Things look pretty cut and dry to me. What about you? You toss and turn all night before your big debut as a mob lawyer?
Not at all. I slept like a rock.
Lucky. I mean, I've been getting good rest, more or less. Just been having a lot of late nights recently.
Late nights? Like, going out?
No. Just late night chats.
Chatting about what?
God, look at all of them. Never seen so many cops in one building. They'd bring a marching band into the courtroom if they could. Theater.
Right. Well, theater and trial weren't all that far apart back in ancient Greece.
Would hope we'd progress since then.
Yeah, is she jelly? What are you talking to, Emma?
You don't approve this show of force, I take it?
Is it that obvious? I'd like to say this because of who Chopin's family is, but we both know that's not what this is really about. A cop is dead. The state might... Oh my god! I get it. A cop is dead. The state wants to make it clear that isn't tolerated.
Help me. Cops volunteer to defend our laws and protect us citizens.
Volunteers don't get paid. Besides, cops, courts, the state, all they can do is enforce the laws, not defend them. Guns and arms can't defend against corrosion anyway. Rot comes from the deep.
So you'd rather that the death of a police officer get the same treatment as any other citizen?
Suppose that's not possible. They get increasingly fewer chances to play the victim every year. They never let the opportunity pass. No, I guess the best I could hope for is that the state makes the same show of force whenever any crime is committed. If they treated every death like the death of a cop, maybe I would have caught HPK by now.
You're still on that.
Of course. Shooting deaths are down. But do you know how many missing persons cases there are in the city? How many deaths get written up as mod harvesting attacks gone wrong? It's a big city, Morgan. More than enough blood running through the streets for HBK to launder their kills in.
You shouldn't joke like that.
What? You don't believe me? Just last month, missing person. The report was filed by their employer when they didn't show up to work. 7 days after they had last been seen by anyone. They were just some part-time worker. No close friends, no family. They went to work and they came home, paid their bills, and they disappeared. And no one cared or even noticed until their job didn't get done and those bills went unpaid. No one noticed until they stopped buying in. The body was found a full 2 weeks later. The decay was...
What happened to them?
Blunt force to the back of the head. Something metallic, with a sharp corner, we think.
It was a roughly cubed machine part I pulled from the dumpster nearby. It fit snugly in my hand and it caved through his skull like a shovel through snow.
Kicked into the bay. Might not even have been weighed down. Just thrown away like a cheap...
That's terrible. I'm sure it is, Morgan! Did you find any belongings on them?
No.
So probably a mugging then, right?
No.
there would have been other injuries from a struggle. And a thief who accidentally committed murder would be too panicked, too terrified to...
You know how muggers think now.
I can learn how anyone thinks. Even HBK, with a robust enough profile.
Well, good luck building it all by your lonesome.
I'm not working on this by myself. Sorry. Right. Did you want to beg for mercy real quick before we begin?
Oh! Now, where would be the fun in that? My God! Gulp. Oh, damn, that one was me.
Okay. I'm gonna get through, like, I think the first part of this courtroom, then I'm gonna have to end it there, but it's not over yet.
The courtroom gallery is quite full today, isn't it?
Awash in a sea of pissed off cops. Doesn't exactly shore up one's confidence, does it? 5 counts of murder would be newsworthy any day of the week. Add in the fact that one of the bodies belongs to a cop and a crowd was to be expected. Didn't think they'd be so quiet, though. Maybe they're all just waiting for the firing pistol before they can start casting their stones. Don't let it get to you, Sosuke. They're just posturing. Posturing, I understand. I've been in attendance for my share of tense negotiations. The bloodlust in those rooms was always mutual. You don't feel any animosity towards these cops. I'm used to summoning my temper on command. I might have forgotten how to get angry for my own sake.
Aw.
You just worry about the jury. What about the adjutant?
She's back! Let's go. I was so scared they wouldn't bring her back. I missed this bitch.
I cannot be intimidated by muscle, bribed with cash or disarmed with fine tailoring. All of which makes them quite favored when it comes to prosecuting organized crime.
That could be any adjutant? Nah, it has to be her. Please, 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 please. Praying, praying, praying.
Have you been in court many times before then?
It's an eye for an eye in the world we operate in. We don't file assault charges, we just answer them. Though even that has become rare. The house is elevated. Blue Bloods and Russ and all the rest of the rabble are beyond their reach now. And when it comes to our peers, we communicate very differently. Must make being a bodyguard pretty boring.
Oh, the number's on the sleeve, so okay, hell yeah.
I think your work sounds very rewarding and exciting, Sosuke.
Thank you.
Especially the other day when you were captured and beaten by your rivals.
Yes. What I was trying to hint at, Morgan, is that you should not be expecting assistance from the house. Honestly, the thought hadn't crossed my mind. Being on the winning side for once, what the hell would that even feel like?
So there won't be any men in black approaching the jury during lunch and offering them paper bags of cash?
No. Well, if we do really bad, we won't even make it to lunch, so...
Sosuke, what are you staring at? Are you looking for the jury?
No, I know they aren't here. It used to be mandated that juries be physically present for court proceedings. People felt it was important that they look the accused in the eye.
To help them evaluate their character?
Why bother? Most people suck at that. Always have. True. Perhaps it was considered part of the punishment then. To have to look them in their eyes.
A punishment for the jury or the defendant?
All right, kiddos. Chins up, shoulders out. Show's about to start.
I just remembered. Do you think the adjutant assigned to this particular case?
Obviously, it's gonna be me. Obviously. I mean, that's a gimme. Easy.
How?
It's 80. What are the chances?
There should be at least 83 other personalities in the Bones network.
released.
Well, Your Honor, thank you for signing so honorably. I do try. Try. 'Cause it's a trial.
I love her.
Tougher crowd than usual. And that's not counting on the grim monolith standing tall up there in the gallery. Who died?
5 people, Your Honor.
Yikes! What's the damage?
2 counts of manslaughter, 2 counts of homicide in the 2nd degree, and 1 count of homicide in the 1st degree. You have a theory about 80, but it's not really based on anything? Okay. I want to hear it.
Buddy, you trying to set a gold split with all that? What's with the record-setting grind set?
The prosecution stands ready.
So, shall we begin?
Oh. Oh. Your credit's always good here. Ooh, court is now in... Ooh, cool. That is cool as fuck. All right. Did you save? All right. Thank you everybody so much for coming today. I hope you had fun. That tradition was awesome, yeah. You know how David released 300 of his friends into the world indiscriminately via the internet? Oh my god! Dude, that theory is kind of based, actually. Dude, she's like... she's like at least 5 of his friends. That's funny. That theory is pretty based. Yeah, I hope you guys had a lot of fun today. Thank you so much for coming out and watching. Yay! Come back next Monday for more Morgan Mondays. Are we like at least halfway through this chapter? I hope we are. I mean, we got to the trial, so... Crossing my fingers, yeah. No? Great. Morgan Mondays will be happening for a while then. So yeah, if you like Up the Devil, I'll see you next Monday. Tomorrow we're doing more AI The Somnium Files as we do every Tuesday. And Wednesday we're also doing Umineko. Hopefully this week. We've been missing the last couple of weeks because of like last minute changes to schedules. So hopefully this week we'll get to it and have a long sesh. Hopefully, crossing my fingers. But anyways, thank you everybody so much for watching. If you're new around here, if you're looking, I have the rest of the Devil up on my VOD channel, as well as the rest of the streams that I've done for episode 2. So go check that out if you want to. Otherwise, yeah, safe travels back from heaven. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Be good people. Yeah! Have a good night, everybody. Goodbye. 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 Bye.